Happy Sunday, friends. Good morning. Let's do a weekly reset vlog, shall we?
The trees, they are singing to the tune of a song, and the wind is gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn.
During this meditation, we will be doing a gentle
The voice of the robin, the call of the dove, the red leaves are falling, the barn owl is calling, the welcome of the dawn.
I just got out of the shower and thought I would say hello now. And we got laundry going. I'm feeling motivated to do this today. So let's make a coffee, shall we?
Sunlight on the sea reminds me of where we used to be. Your hair caught in the wind, like a sail, you're drifting far from me. In my mind we're playing hide and seek, guiding me while the waves silence speak. You're gone but still you're with me. You will always be my love, always be my love, my love, my love. I better find a way. Or does it really matter? I better find a way in the dark. Echoes of your laughter, every silence wears your mark.
Hello friends, welcome to a new vlog. This is kind of part of my Moving Diaries series, a little episode 3 if you will, but also can just be a video on its own because, hello, I'm in my new house, and upon moving in here, I just knew one of my big goals once I settled in was just doing a big kind of life reset, getting back on track, trying to get back into habits and routines that I have neglected being in the old place, and you know, life gets in the way, etc, etc. So I thought I would film it and take you along for the journey as well, and all of that fun stuff. So disclaimers, of course. I mean, you can do your weekly reset any day of the week. It doesn't have to be Sunday, it could be Monday, it could be Wednesday. Just because I'm doing it on a Sunday does not mean you need to do it on a Sunday. And sometimes I do this on a Saturday. It kind of flip-flops. It's more of like a weekend preparing for the week reset for me as somebody who works Monday through Friday and has the weekends off. You do you. You also don't need to do everything or anything that I am doing. Don't feel pressured to replicate anything that I am doing in this video. I say that from personal experience of watching so many like reset routine videos and just feeling bad and low about myself because I can't do all of that or don't have the capacity. I'm in my like ovulation phase right now, so like energy is high. I have the capacity to kind of one, film this video, two, like do a reset and share it with you guys. So just letting you know, this is not what every week looks like for me. I'm working on building this habit. Last weekend was my first weekend really kind of like settled into our new house, and I wanted to try and start including a new reset routine for myself, or really just adding things to my reset routine, because I have things that I've already do, or things that I just do on autopilot, and there are other things that I'm trying to make to be autopilot, like cleaning and grocery shopping, meal prepping, stuff like that. All right, so let's talk about reset routines. I have my iPad because I wanted to share a little like graphic that I had found and saved it to my weekly reset routine board that I'm trying to use to inspire me to get into, you know, the mood and motivation to do all of this. These are ones I personally have saved, but this one I really like because of the visuals that go around it, and they have kind of bucketed the different areas of our lives into different categories. So they have it as reflect, get inspired, plan your week, clean your space, grocery shopping and meal prep, move your body, self-care, and sleep routine. So I wanted to like download this image and kind of like customize it a little bit for myself. And I think ultimately what I want to do is create my own, it doesn't have to be like a cute graphic like this, but my own kind of checklist. And I guess I do have one. Why am I having such a hard time saving this? We had to take a quick tech intermission, but I think we are good now. So I've imported the image into my Procreate. You can use anything. You can just print it out also and, you know, use it that way. And I want to give credit to the person that created this, but I don't see like a name or a watermark or anything, but I will link the link to the Pinterest image down below so you can access it that way. I just wanted to go through this and like circle things, highlight things that I want to use for my own weekly reset routine, and then use that to kind of make my own checklist. So in the reflect section, actually, no, I want to start with, because I like moved my body first this morning. That's something I always immediately do. So let's start with the move your body category. They have go to a workout class, go on a walk or a hike, and do a deep stretch. If the weather was warmer, I would try and go on a walk or a hike, but last week was probably the last time it was like nice weather for me to go on a walk, and it's like super windy out today. I did do a 30-minute Pilates workout this morning. I think that's what I need to add in here, is just like my own option, which is like a Pilates or yoga. The next kind of like, if I'm thinking in terms of flow of where I usually kind of gravitate towards after I get up and like move my body a little bit, it's kind of the like reflect area, the get inspired area, the plan your week area, like the life admin stuff. So under reflect, we have how was the previous week? What do you want to change? I kind of do reflect and like planning within the same like sitting. So usually I'll make my coffee, I'll come sit on the couch or the table or wherever I'm feeling. I'll do my reflecting, planning for the week. And that could be in the morning or like in the afternoon or even the evening, like depending on when you just feel called to do that. Some people like doing it in the evening after dinner before they're going to bed. For me, I like want to get my stuff out of the way. Like that's why this morning I woke up and was like, I need to take a shower. Like, let me just do this and get this done so I don't have to think about it, because once it starts getting dark, because now it's getting dark super early as we move into winter time, I just want to like not have to have a checklist or a to-do list by the time it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I can just like relax, watch TV, watch YouTube, read, self-care stuff. Let's kind of create our own little planning admin section. So I have my like movement. Now I'm gonna do my planning, reflect. So with the planning, we have like looking at our goals, our priorities, to-do list, time block, schedule. So for me personally, I like to look at my goals. I like to check in with my planner. I am still currently using the Cultivate What Matters Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner, and this is just a 90-day like goal planner, and I'm gonna be done with this at the end of November. So I've used it for September, October, and November, and I think I'm gonna go back to my Sterling Ink Common Planner for the last month for December, since this is gonna run out. And then I did purchase a new Common Planner from Sterling Ink for my 2026 planner that I'm really, really excited to set up and share with you guys when we get to that point. So for planning and reflection, I'll just like do my planner check-in, and then I'll do my like weekly planning. And I should do more reflection, like journaling, seeing what worked the previous week, what I need to focus on in the next week. And that's kind of like, I guess, an autopilot thing where when I'm sitting and planning like what I want to work on or spend my time on in the like coming week, naturally my brain's gonna be like thinking about the previous week, like what worked, what didn't work, what can I improve on. What I really like about the Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner and the Cultivate What Matter planners, at least their weekly planners, this is my first time trying like an actual like planner from them and not like their goal planner, which I've used for many years. But I love their weekly refresh page right here, and this is like the main reason I purchased this. Also, the size is like perfect for me. It's like not too big, not too small. So I will miss this page, but they also have printables, like free printables that you can use this and print it out. So I'll share that down below. I also have wild cards, which are just like little, it's just like copies of this that you can reuse, like a pad type of thing. My stickers are falling out. So when I stop using this planner, I'm gonna probably keep using like the refresh like notepad thing to help me like orient myself for the week ahead, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna fill this out like later, obviously. Like right now we're just trying to figure out like my routine that I'm working on. The get inspired section, that's something I do throughout the day, like getting on Pinterest or listening to a podcast, creating a vision board. I do like getting outside and like browsing Pinterest, and I think there's other ways to get inspired too. Like you can watch like an inspiring YouTube video, go out to like the bookstore or the mall or something like that. You can check in with a friend. I like this like bucket of like getting inspiration because it could be anything. Could also be like reading a magazine or a book, a hobby. That's not really on this either, like a hobby. And also for me, like playing my Switch, so like video games. And you can also put that under self-care. I think that's probably what we have under self-care too. Okay, so we've covered reflect, plan your week, get inspired. So I've already woken up and did my morning movement. That's something I like to do every day because one, it's good to get your body moving, but two, I have back problems. I've mentioned it in previous videos like earlier this year that I've been struggling with lower back problems. I had to go to a specialist, and I was in physical therapy for like a month, and now I'm just trying to maintain it myself with exercising more, doing daily stretches, all of that stuff. That is my main motivation every morning, to do some kind of like yoga or stretch, and I'm doing more Pilates now, which I've been really enjoying. I used to do Pilates like when I was 18, 20, when I first got into like fitness. I have like this little Pilates DVD with like different exercises on it, and I've been doing yoga for nearly 10 years, almost 10 years, like on a regular daily basis. For a while, once the pandemic hit, I slowly stopped exercising at the rate that I used to pre-pandemic. Like I would work out 5 days a week, I would run and like do strength training, like at home stuff. I wouldn't go to the gym, but I like was pretty like regular with maintaining my exercise routine, and Pilates was a big part of it. And I guess just with burnout, COVID, life changes, turning 30, I just went down this little slope of slowly losing strength in my like areas that support my back. That ultimately led to my lower back pain just getting so bad that it like was hard to walk. I'm doing much better now after going to a specialist and doing physical therapy. It is expensive to stay in physical therapy, and it is the goal for the physical therapist to get you out of PT so you can go, you know, you're not relying on that. And I just could not afford to keep going back, or I didn't want to put my money into that. So I kind of like ghosted my physical therapist a little bit. I had to like cancel an appointment because of a work thing, and then I got my bills and realized it was just not something I could keep up with. But I am doing like the daily stretches and strength exercises that he gave to me that I was doing while in PT, and now I'm continuing to try and do that on a regular basis. Of course, there are days where I miss that, but I'm also trying to incorporate more like long form exercise routines at home with Pilates and like cardio or walking routines. I'm trying to walk more as well. So on a Sunday or when I'm resetting my week, I'm trying to do more like long form exercise. So throughout the week, I'm doing like 3 to 4 days of like 20 to 30 minutes of Pilates exercises. So this morning I did a nice little Pilates workout that actually got me sweating. Like I know this, like people think Pilates is like easy. It's not easy. It gets you sweating. So after that, I decided to take a shower, which is part of my like weekly reset, like doing a nice shower and washing my hair. I only wash my hair like once a week. I usually do it in the evening or like in the afternoon. I like to break up my days, or sometimes I'll just do it in the morning. It honestly depends on my mood and my energy and like what I'm feeling. So like this morning, I just needed a shower. I was feeling hot and icky after working out. My hair was just gross. Like it was time to like get it washed, and I did not want to go the whole day feeling like that. Also knowing that I'm filming today, that motivated me to shower. We already did my exercise, we did a meditation, we showered, washed my hair, and I've already started doing a load of laundry. So I'm off to a really good start with my reset routine today. All right, it's like already 12:30 almost. No, it's 1 o'clock, chill. It's 1 o'clock, and I am like, filming has completely derailed my like routine today, and that's fine. It's fine because we're working on a routine. But by now I would have probably already did my like weekly planning, meal planning, making a grocery list, things like that. But I wanted to check in with this, my little weekend planner pad checklist that I have and I've been raving about in multiple videos. But I like to fill this out Saturday mornings, and it's like a Saturday Sunday checklist. So I have like big goals I want to do for the weekend, and then just a running to-do list, and then a section for whatever's on my mind. So this weekend I kind of mapped out cleaning zones. I want to focus on developing like a cleaning routine and schedule for myself, like a gentle one, not a crazy one. Now, like, I thought I had more time today to work on this video because George was in a like online like game card tournament, and he ended up dropping out early, so he's done way sooner than I thought, and he's ready to kind of like go do stuff, maybe go to the mall or go out and do groceries. So I need to like quickly create a meal plan for the week and also create my grocery list, so I just have that when we go out and about, and then we can have a little bit of a day date together as part of my self-care get inspired like quadrant. And then I think tonight I'm gonna try and focus on the rest of our little checklist, like finishing up the laundry, doing some cleaning and tidying sprints. I'm working on like the meal prep like part of my reset routine because I don't really like, I just feel like doing all of that on a Sunday is just a lot for me, and I've been trying to meal prep maybe on like Monday night after work, or maybe I'll just prep something easy tonight. I do want to like get into the habit of prepping things on Sunday evenings or in the afternoons. It just really depends on what's going on. Like if we're gonna go out and do something together, that's gonna like derail a little bit of my, you know, time and energy to devote to that. So again, it's like a running to-do list, a menu of options, and you don't have to do all of them. They're suggestions, and it might help to just create like a priority list of like top 5 things that you definitely want to get done in your reset, and like those are the non-negotiables, and you make sure you do those. That's why I try to do that stuff in the morning, because I'm more likely to talk myself out of it later in the day, especially as I get tired, you know, things come up with George and I, or family stuff. So yeah, that's my hack or my advice. Have a flexible mindset around creating your little checklist or menu for yourself, and just know that you can't do all of it. And if there are certain things that you do want to do, like find a way to make sure those get done first or like throughout the day. Okay, I just tried to do a very quick sprint of doing my weekly planning and then my grocery meal planning situation. I came out into the dining room to kind of get out of the living room to like change up my environment to help with just focusing and, you know, neurodivergent things. Anyway, I did my weekly refresh page, so this is pretty much ready to go. I could do a little check-in tonight before I go to bed as well if there's any last minute ideas or things, but for now at least I know I am pretty like prepared mentally for what I want to focus my time on this upcoming week. And then I made my meal plan for the week. This is mainly for myself. George and I try to like share meals, but we have such different dietary preferences that it doesn't happen too often. So I mainly plan for myself, and then I just try and do a little extra planning for him. And then when we go out to the store, he just buys what he wants to buy, unless we're like sharing a meal, like a pasta dish or some other meal where we can share the same size, but we might have different proteins. So generally I used to just write out meal ideas, like a running list of meal ideas, like on the back of my like my pad where I write my grocery list. Now that we've moved in and I'm trying to figure out a better meal planning system for myself, I'm trying to use a planner, to like a separate planner that lives in the kitchen. So when I'm like, it's after work, I'm like, what am I cooking for today? Maybe it was busy, I didn't have a chance to really check with my planner. I can just like open this up, see my meal ideas on one side, and then just kind of look at my calendar to see what I initially kind of planned out. This has been helping. At least it helped last week, and I've been doing like a variation of this in other ways as well. This is a very cheap Hobonichi Weeks dupe that I got on Amazon. I don't think it's available anymore. I tried using this as a personal planner and then like a work planner, but I just don't like the binding situation. It like doesn't really like sit flat, and it's just not a Hobonichi Weeks by any means. But since it's like undated, I decided to try and use it for meal planning. So we're gonna see how this works. So I just wrote out all of the meal ideas on the one side, and then I just plugged them into the planner on the other side. And even if I don't follow this to a T, which I will not follow to a T, at least right now I know that I have enough meal options to get us through the week. That helps me figure out my grocery list. This all just kind of happens simultaneously. One of my like goals that I'm working on monthly is to try a new recipe, so I can add more recipes into my like weekly cooking routine, because right now I only really have one or two where I know I can cook something on autopilot and I don't have to follow like complicated instructions. Cooking's very difficult for me because of just my brain and so many steps involved. So there's this one recipe that I've been loving that I tried like in October or something. I'll link it down below, but it's called chili lime chickpea cauliflower wrap. It's so good. It's so simple. Like you just roast chickpeas and cauliflower with a bunch of spices. That's one part of cooking it. And then there's making the avocado lime sauce, which is what tripped me up the most when I was learning this. But now that I've done it a few, like 3 or 4 times now, like I'm getting the hang of it. And this is turning into like a weekly rotation meal. So like next week, I'm just kind of repeating what I ate last week. And that is fine and dandy for me. Like my brain is not like resistant to that. So I'm gonna try and cook those one day this week, and it's like kind of a mini meal prep. It'll give me 3 or 4 meals, and that's just like an easy dinner that I can do. And then I need to like think of like lunches to take to work. So like stir fry is a go-to for me. That's really easy. I can get 3 meals out of that. And I think just doing like a basic sandwich, like a tuna fish sandwich with potato chips, I add that into my rotation too. Sometimes I'll do salmon with like vegetables or like rice or something, or I'll do tuna fish like a sandwich or egg salad sandwich. I just like to mix things up. So I think having like go-to meals that you can cook on autopilot, and maybe rotating in 1 new recipe a week or a month if you're like me, so you can like challenge yourself a little bit and then find new recipes that you love, and then you can add them into your rotation. That's been working for me. So now I have a grocery list, I have my meal plan, pretty much my week's planned out, at least in terms of like the refresh of my brain and like what I need to focus on. So now I can rest a little bit and go have fun with George. We're gonna like have a quick lunch at home and run out to do part errands, part like self-care date. Since George works Saturdays, Sundays are like our time to be together if he's not having other things going on. So we're gonna try and do some fun things. I don't know, we might go to the mall. Remember when I said get inspired? Go to the mall, go to the bookstore. We're gonna do a little bit of like shopping, browsing, walking around indoors, then run to the grocery store to get like things that we actually need, like meals. And then I'll be home, and I think once we get home I can focus on finishing up laundry and doing like a 1 or 2 hour cleaning sprint. It might only be an hour. I don't want to overextend myself. Yeah, we're moving through the reset plan, friends. Beagle Hall. What'd you get me? An air freshener. What the? It's Chopper. Getting home before the sun goes down is a win in my book. It is like so windy and cold out today. I am so glad to be at home. I wanted to give you guys a quick grocery haul. I didn't end up getting too much stuff because I got a lot of stuff last week from Trader Joe's, so that's good, that's good. But I did want to kind of highlight a few things. So shout out to these gluten-free blueberry muffins. These are so good. And then George apparently snuck in some chocolate chip muffins for himself. Corn tortillas for those cauliflower chickpea wraps that I want to make. Last time I got almond flour wraps and they didn't have them. Trader Joe's like tends to not have certain things every single week, which is kind of annoying. But I got corn tortillas, bananas. Gonna try, I've tried these overnight oats before. They're good. Something fun to add into the rotation. Some snacks, avocados. I needed more peanut butter. These have been my latest obsession after George bought these last week. We ate the whole bag in a week, so we got more. Needed some white rice. We went to a Vietnamese grocery store to check out, which was really, really nice. I didn't get any footage in there. We will definitely be going back there because George wanted a few things, and I figured I'd get white rice or jasmine rice from there. More things from the Asian grocery store, or red onion. We needed tofu. I found these random brown rice chips. I don't know, worth trying. Hard-boiled eggs, I eat these from time to time, randomly, like on their own or in a salad, so figured I'd just grab those to mix things up. These for my wraps that I want to make. Stir-fry mix. I sometimes make this with salmon, but I'm not going to do that this week. I might just make it with tofu instead of like a basic stir-fry mix that I usually get that I couldn't find at Trader Joe's. Shredded cheese. These are another kind of obsession of ours, the gluten-free chocolate chip cookies from Trader Joe's. They're so good. Some random hot dog, corn dog thing for George. These are my frozen meals for the week. I like to buy 1 or 2 to have on hand, or just when I'm like not prepared the night before, or I just need something quick and maybe I have low energy and I don't feel like meal prepping that week or something. So these have become a weekly staple. And then French fries. These are George items. Mochi. So yeah, brief haul. We also got sparkling water, which we get every week, and I think that's it. So now I need to put this stuff away. So after I put all the groceries away, I decided to do a little cleaning tidy sprint, which is a habit I've been working on throughout the week because, as I mentioned earlier in this vlog, it is a bit overwhelming for me to try and do everything in one day, like groceries, planning for the week, doing fun things, hang out with George, and doing cleaning and all of that stuff. So I tend to break it up on like Saturday and Sundays. It's more of like a weekend time frame for me to do a weekly reset. And the day before, I actually had a major like self-care on the couch rot day where I just did not have the energy to do anything or clean. And I think that's partially because I needed to rest, but also because of my undiagnosed ADHD. The week previous, I did a full-on like cleaning sprint, the whole house type of thing, and was really proud of myself. And I know that I cannot keep up with that every single week. So I've been trying to, one, just honor that in myself and not beat myself up over that, and also just hack my way through it in terms of when I do that. So maybe it's on the weekend on a Saturday and I don't do it all, or I'm spreading it out through the week. That's actually what I ended up doing the days after I filmed this. I've been trying to do cleaning sprints like after work for like an hour or 30 minutes, try and set a timer and do one area, one zone of the house, and try and spread that out through the week, which in the past has felt overwhelming for me to do that. But now I'm kind of opening up to that and seeing the power of that, meaning I get my weekends to myself. I have more time to do things for myself, self-care, hang out with George, friends, social time. So after I put the dishes away, I decided to put some of my stuff away from packing. And I think that's also why I decided to not clean, because in the time that I spent on putting stuff away, like unpacking stuff, was when I could have done cleaning. So again, we need to give ourselves grace in these moments when we're trying to do everything all at once, or we're just overloading too much onto our plates, especially when we know we don't have the capacity to do that. So I wanted to focus on unpacking more stuff from my desk area. So these are like old journals and planners. These are my archives, and I don't really have room for them at all downstairs in my desk. And I was also thinking about, it's probably a better idea to store them upstairs as well, because when I have like friends over or my nieces are going to come over and they're all young, I don't want them necessarily going through my planners and my journals and like potentially reading something I wouldn't want them to read. So that was kind of like an aha moment. I was like, all right, I have more shelving upstairs, so I will put them and unpack them upstairs in the bedroom. So that ended up working out pretty well. So after I unpacked, I think about 2 boxes worth of stuff, which made me feel much, much better about that, I focused on making up the bed and trying to put some laundry away. And actually I completely forgot to fold some laundry. And I actually enjoy laundry. It's one of the chores I actually look forward to. I know some people don't like laundry at all, but I enjoy it so much. But I forgot to fold and put clothes away. So I ended up doing that, on a weekday, later in the week. So cheers to just figuring things out and making it all work in your brain. So then after that, George and I had takeout for dinner. We were not going to cook anything. And I sat myself on the couch to watch the new premiere episode of the Ken Burns documentary on the American Revolution. You can actually watch all of the episodes for free on pbs.org. So I recommend checking that out if you are interested in American history, early American history, the American Revolution. I have yet to watch the last episode. It is a bit long. It's 6 2-hour-long episodes, so hunker down. But I think the first episode is a really good intro for anybody just new to the revolution or history. But yeah, thank you, friends, for being here and coming along for this weekly reset in my life. I hope this was motivating, inspiring, or just a nice entertaining watch for you to get through your day. And I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you next one. Bye.